Welcome to my 13,000 video, everyone. And there's one movie I had to write down is this word. The nut job movie sucks. Yep, really need to start my review of a film that nobody knows existed. That's why there's like a cartoon pilot of it. About one squirrel who's out there nuts. And this film has lots of puns of involving nuts. I try my best to not to review this movie as much as possible, despite this film is like 9 years old. At first, I liked it, but after 9 years later, I can see why people dislike this film. Hired great actors like Will Arnett playing unlikable jerk squirrel named Shirley, and there's like a voice actor Brendan Fraser that keeps on being these terrible movie roles. After he quit doing movie roles nearly 9 years later and comes back doing more of this, playing a not just squirrel that's trying to be heroic but downright dumb. The animation doesn't look that bad, but trust me, there's like so much worse. Like the main antagonist, Raccoon, who's basically the bad guy and has a bird. And there's me, who's the trustworthy female squirrel that wants to make sure they do everything by the rules of natures. And Brandon Fraser plays the squirrel. That Charlie is a squirrel that's a troublemaker that wants to have all the nuts to himself. I will try not to explain too much. Also, he has a rat friend, and who looks very similar to Remy from Ratatouille. It doesn't even look like they even try to hide his identity. And they want to have all the nuts to themselves. And there's actually two cartoon pilots. One that's all released in 2000, the other one actually looks slightly better. Grandma crooks and stealing things. I will try not to give too much away, but this is going to be a very short review of me talking about this film. There's not much else to say about the backgrounds, because they look exactly the same in one storage place. It was Shari's thing that he destroyed Roy and get his vehicle and let them defend food for themselves. Hold on a second. There's like other things wrong with this film whatsoever, being most popular of less interesting films of all time. This film existed just to make lots of money. This is gonna be like a short amount for me to explain this film. That Shirley is the most unlikable character of the entire film. That the squirrels had to find food for themselves. There's like the mole that's like playing a bright light and everything, just like most animals do. Just hold on a second. What I'm trying to say, it's not really a good film. It is meant for little kids. It's supposed to be entertaining for them, their natural intelligent minds, and that they spend all their cash on doing one on location. And there's these criminal bad guys that want to steal the money from the bank and have Amy, and there's like a pet bulldog named Percy. And you gotta keep as a pet. That this film has nothing but puns all over the place. Nothing but nut puns and cheap fart games. And never that. Oh yeah, and there's like this random scene at the end of the film or a dancing scene called Gundam Style. That used to be a thing in 2014. And I think it's suitable for kids. Like this movie has time for the dancing scene, like this one. That's like the only main thing about this film. It exists to be a thing. There's really not much else to say about this film whatsoever. It's just there to exist and then has a sequel that nobody asked for, which I'll get to another time. And that they followed Shirley, the squirrel, to take all the nuts they can have all to ourselves. The criminal masterminds want to have all they want. And the evil raccoon himself wants to kill Shirley and have his hench rats do the dirty work for him, dispose of him once and for all. In other words, this film is not very good at all. They spent all their budget for these scenes, make them almost realistic.
Of course I am. The park needs it. Well, too late, sister. Amp's great. Buddy and I got here first, and I ain't sharing. Oh, yes, you are.
Lots of people talked about this film since 2014. That Andre, the squirrel female, is the only one that cares about the others besides herself. There's like Trin underground. All that are just trying to be funny, but it does its best to be hilarious, but it's not as hilarious and swoons to be comedy reliefs. This film is easily forgotten once you see it, and you won't even remember most of it. You'll just forget it existed at that moment in time. You'll be like, what is that job again? Oh, it's about the squirrel that takes all their notes and how great he is. But in the end, he redeems himself, and then he saves their lives. He sacrifices his life for theirs. And he has his only friend, which is the rat, that he cares about. And that's pretty much it. I'll try not to give too much away. You have to see the movie for yourself to rent at the library, or basically you buy it for the cheapest price if you're that curious to see Nut Job the movie in 2014. So otherwise, this film is not nearly as the best as they seem to be. If you think I'm right or wrong, then you'll see what I mean about this film's basic character designs of main criminals just want to steal money to be their last job. And that's all I can say. This is basically the entire film of them doing their thing, survive the winter time and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and there's this lady, which I forgot whatever her name is, that works for him, and there's her job, and pretty surely at close to the end of the film, and for all the bad guys in prison. So, Nut Job, the movie, is downright not really the greatest film they ever did in 2014. It's just below average and downright medium of not being a great film at all. That's all I can say. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. You can always say it for like 10 whole minutes, so long.